Looks like people had a lot of fun at Biggest Little Fur Con. There does seem to have been a bit of the old controversy flying around in social media, though. Mainly, it has to be said, it's coming from people who were not there. Anyone I've seen talking about it who was there had an amazing time. In fact, there seems to be a trend of people coming away feeling really reconnected to the furry fandom and community. So, what's up with that? Well, some guys did a bit of a thing with a pizza that was a bit kinky, but not exactly wild or anything. They did, however, boast about it on Twitter, and it gained a bit of traction, and then the telephone game kicked in, and it got a little hard to figure out which bits of the story were truth and which weren't. Now, as we should know by now, social media, and Twitter particularly, is an outrage machine. Nothing drives engagement like outrage. Of course, most of the people at the con weren't really paying attention much to Twitter. That's kind of how cons work. You have better things to do. People at home, though, well, that's a different matter. It's important to see this as part of a bigger picture. Furry has definitely had an issue over the pandemic with the usual controversy cycle just picking up more energy as it goes round and self accelerating. It's very easy with that to lose sight of the positive sides of the fandom and its community in the circumstances that we've found ourselves in. There have been few events. We've all been encouraged to stay home. There's definitely a big hole in our lives that remains unfulfilled. For a lot of us, a big part of what connected us to furry has been missing. Only social media remains. So we've been shut in. We've lost an important connection to our community, and we've all been on our phones too much, being fed a daily diet of outrage. There's also the curious case of the so called Puritines. These are younger furries who have a disturbing insistence that the fandom be cleaned up. It's pretty hard to assign motivations to a broad group, but the trend seems to be that they want people to take furries seriously and not think we're weird and sexual and have it be something they can tell mommy about and have corporate sponsorship of. It's almost as if teenagers want approval and to be seen as mature, but don't really know how to actually be an adult. They've also, particularly at the moment, not really had much experience of the actual offline fandom, which doesn't help. So, we've got kids who don't know what they're talking about, and a fan base who are shut in and angry, and honestly experiencing a bit of FOMO. A perfect mix for something innocuous to blow up. And what did blow up wasn't even wild. You really need to understand that all kinds of stuff happens at cons, and honestly, you shouldn't be getting all up and angry about it. Believe it or not, people are doing more than missionary on the marriage bed. Conventions, and I'm not specifically talking about the furry kind here, have always been pretty crazy. Furry conventions, like the community itself, are just more open about it. You'll forgive me if I think the pizza thing is tame. I've seen, attended, and heard about much wilder stuff happening at furry cons. It's honestly a strange thing to get upset about. Dog knows I've been spotted doing wilder stuff at furry cons. I do think the people involved could maybe not have boasted about it on their public Twitter. That's kind of asking for trouble, especially in the current climate. But honestly, What was it that so angered you? Furry is weird and fun and cute, and yes, horny. Is it a fetish? No. Is it exclusively for adults? No. Is it gloriously, unrepentantly queer? Yes. Does it have a massive, horny, kinky, and fetishist streak running through it? Absolutely. Is any of that a problem? No. And you should stop treating it like it is. Furry is this amazing, creative, individualist, inclusive fandom that brings together a community of disparate, wonderful, strange, and often marginalized people and gives us a space to be ourselves. In that space, we can relax, let our defenses down, stop hiding. We can make friends, geek out, have a good time, do stuff we never get the chance to do elsewhere. Meet people from different backgrounds, whether local or the other side of the world. Learn about the wonderful diversity of humanity and grow beyond our blinkered roots. And yes, absolutely, we are using that space to be horny with each other and do kinky stuff. And those things are inseparable. Seeking the approval of quote unquote normal, respectable society, especially to invite in corporate exploitation, will destroy our community and leave the fandom a shadow of itself. So look at the things the people coming home from the con are saying. Read their joy at reconnecting. That's the real story here, and I cannot wait for it to come around to me. Go outside. Go to an event if it's safe. Do stuff. Reconnect with friends. Put your damn phone down. Twitter is not the furry fandom. I'm just gonna drop a little footnote here that besides the pizza thing, there did seem to be some other thing happening, but it honestly passed me by with all the pizza talk, and it seemed to be all wrapped up in transphobia, which I disapprove of. Transphobia is not furry. Anyway, leave a furious comment, dislike the video, angrily watch other stuff I've posted, subscribe so you can be outraged at future videos, and I think hitting the bell gives you clout points or something. I'm done.